Hi, my name is Ilya Bezoglov. I'm with my dear friend Carl here, and we're doing this presentation video for a Tesla. Tesla asked us to do a presentation video on how to deal with a situation. It's a physical confrontation, maybe at the charging station, maybe near the vehicle, when a person is forced to deal with a physical attack. Again, as we always advertise, if this is just something about the property, if the person trying to steal a car, especially with the modern car where the GPSs are all over the place, and we can easily locate the car and let the law enforcement deal with that, don't get in a physical confrontation over property. But if you have to get in a physical confrontation over your health and your security and your safety, that's a completely different scenario. So one of the things, I mean, there's multiple ways to be attacked in public. You can be in a car, someone's trying to drag you out of the car. There's some situation in the park or whatever that trying to attack you, or maybe it can be a physical, it could be a sexual attack, it could be outside of the car, the person trying to drag you into kidnapping type of situation, trying to get you in the car, or it can be one of those physical attacks when the person is for whatever reason trying to harm you with physical strikes. And then again, we get into weaponry, and our program covers all of those situations. Obviously, for presentation purposes, we're going to do just a couple of them just to show you that our approach is with methodology. We'll deal with first one is probably kind of one of those realistic ones. In you're outside a vehicle, you may be charging your car, maybe not paying attention. Something happened that the person grabs you from behind, and now they're trying to take you in a location that you're going to be harmed, or trying to drag you to the ground, trying to take you to the car, trying to take you to the park. Basically, it's a kind of kidnapping situation that you have to protect yourself, and you have to protect yourself fast. And the rule of that situation is try to separate as fast as possible with as fast and as much damage applied possible, and you just separate and escape the situation. We're going to use this. I'm going to be a perpetrator. Carl's going to be my victim.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there's a little size difference, so you will have to use a technique. You cannot just muscle out of the situation with me. So first, we're going to do is the situation when Carl's being attacked. It's a surprise attack. It's from behind. I got it, and now my goal is to take him to whatever the place of my choosing. Definitely dealing with some sort of kidnapping situation, and he will have to separate, disengage, hopefully create some distance and escape, and he will have to do it fast. And he will definitely have to use technique because we are a little bit different sizes. That just muscling me is not going to work. So go ahead, Carl, take it away.
So as he goes in and he traps my arm over here, I have to do something pretty fast because obviously he can throw me to the ground, injure me. Exactly. I have very little control. So what I'm going to be doing is going to be pushing my bottom into him. As I do this, I'm going to raise my hand like I'm answering a question at school. I push my bottom, raise my hand to help create separation. Sometimes their hands open, sometimes they don't, but I need this space. As I do this space, my hand's going to circle underneath, getting a thing called an underhook around his back, cupping him. If I can, I like to keep my head close to the person. That way, if they try to headbutt me, go ahead and headbutt me. It's not working. If I have space, he can obviously headbutt me and still damage me. So I want to keep my head here. Once I'm over here, if I want to disengage, I'll just simply go from this and I'll shove him away and get away from the situation. Ideally, I would much rather disengage than engage a person to the ground. There are some situations where you kind of need to control them. Most situations, though, you can simply separate from the person and then get your bearings because you don't know if they have a knife on them, there's a friend lying in wait, or a car that's open ready to kidnap you. So it's best to just disengage. You can at least start to run away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go and do it about 60, 70% of speed just to show how it goes with the whole flow. And at any point, he controls both my arms, so there's no real striking or anything that, let's say, he can take it to the ground if needed. And then there's a whole bunch of ground control sequence comes from that. Okay. The second situation we'll show, which is unfortunately in the modern society is very probable, is someone's attacking you with a striking technique. Punching, kicking, whatever it might be, is you are just charging your vehicle, all of a sudden there's intoxicated homeless guy, or whatever the reason might be, is now physically attacking you. The problem with a physical attack, if I'm here and he's physically attacking me, if I'm just turning around and trying to run away, I'm probably going to eat a couple punches on the way out. Now I don't have any visual connection with the suspect. I don't even know if he's got any weapons that can stab me in the back, or he just jumps on me and now taking me to the ground, not by my choosing. So at least the initial attack needs to be stopped. And there's a very good technique. It's a shoulder lock. They call them in jiu-jitsu. There's a couple different terminology, but it's a very common technique that we teach police officers and security guards and civilians for self-defense. So the moment I see this, even I'm stepping in. That's called the spear stepping in. It's if I strike him on the way, I strike him on the way. That's unfortunate. I immediately lock his shoulder. I can do my own arm. I can do his elbow. The reason he's bending forward that bad is because I'm putting a lot of pressure on that shoulder. And as long as I drive that shoulder to the ground, he's going to be going to the ground. And we can go all the way down, or the moment I step in, I'll give a couple of strikes, separate, and off I go. I don't even want to go 70% because that's the initial strike. We're going to go 50. So the moment I see the toes stepping in, here we can go to what is called kimura. That's even better. And at this point, I can drive him to the ground and just sit there waiting for law enforcement if he's by himself. If not, as I said, the separation and going to your escape is probably the best way to deal with it. Call 911 and let authorities to finish this. So those are just a couple examples of the whole curriculum that we teach for self-defense purposes that can be mirrored to whatever the training needs the company experiences. Carl, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's very important. There's pretty much three major areas that you're dealing with conflict possibly happening when you're outside charging your Tesla, when you're inside perhaps listening to a radio, or if a person comes in through the passenger side as you're listening there. So you're dealing with a person pulling potentially out, assaulting you, which is really bad, or a person coming in as an unwanted guest or being assaulted, whether it's strikes or with grabbing you, abductions, things of that nature when you're trying to charge your Tesla. One of the big things is situational awareness, but that can only be so good. There's some many ways to be distracted nowadays. So it's good to be able to cover those three primary bases on that.
Yes, and we prepare to basically trade on all these three aspects, how to deal with, unfortunate reality of being attacked.